morning and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. My name is Sonia. We have some oracle decks we're going to work with today. There are 3 of them. The first one is going to be the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And we also have the Dragon Wisdom Oracle by Christine Arana Fader. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray. So I am going to different location today. I'm changing locations here and there. So let me just put this down so you can see as I'm shuffling, and we'll have a quick chat as well. So this is the Starseed Oracle, the Dragon Wisdom deck, and the Gateway of Light Activation here. And just as I'm shuffling, I will hold the cards up so we can have a good view of them. So I was doing a meditation last night. The Sisterhood of Rose energies have been coming through. I've been feeling them. And I did do a little bit of research. Once again, I looked into it a little more. So the Sisterhood has its origins in Atlantis. Also has Egyptian connections via Isis. Okay. Also within, it was continued via the Essenes with Mary Magdalene and her female students, followers, or fellow group members of the Essenes. And traditionally it's also been associated with the planet of Venus and the star system of Sirius as well, and there's a couple of others I think as well. And also it's sort of has been affiliated with the energies of, fairies, elementals, and just angels as well, so angelic energies. So, if you feel, very resonant with roses, or the idea of the Sisterhood of the Rose, or you've kind of experienced that, you have a closeness with an affinity to female ascended masters, or even the some of the mystery school traditions probably have similarities or links and connections that go way back. It's a lot of this ancient spiritual knowledge is kind of shared, I believe, across different traditions and different groups that formed to help raise the frequency of the earth and to help keep that balance, the spiritual aspect alive, so to speak. So I was just kind of guided to use these cards, and no specific topic for today, but because I went to a meditation last night and I was thinking, okay, so is there going to be a topic that will be downloaded to me? But I was just trying to relax, and nothing sort of came forward. So however, I was kind of just guided to use these decks, and they are kind of quite high frequency, so and quite probably spiritual, or more cosmic in their orientation. So I've noticed that some decks are kind of quite grounding and relaxing, even though they are spiritual things. Decks like to do with nature, even like the witchy decks, the shamanic type decks, animal decks are kind of grounding. However, themes of like dragons, starseed, and cosmic themes such as the Gateway of Light Activation are kind of more bringing in that a different realm, so to speak. It's not necessarily a higher frequency. It can be a different realm, because as you know, we can still experience high frequencies while we are being grounded. So it's just information from a different realm. that is probably coming through. So, yeah, I'm just going to, let's just quickly do this once with each. And, I mean, I could pre-shuffle, but I just really like to shuffle in front of you guys. I hope you're all well. Yeah, just so you can see that I'm not, choosing particular cards out of the decks for my convenience, so to speak. So this is all unscripted too, by the way. Okay, so I think we might just choose a couple of cards from each today. Actually, we didn't cut the decks. Sorry, folks. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for helping us with this reading, and we wish, we thank you for all your assistance and guidance, and help us to receive any information that we need to receive, and help us to take on what we need to take on and to release everything else. So let's just cut these, and we'll just grab a couple, and then I'm just going to pop the other. And you can do these readings for yourselves as well at home if you have your own oracle decks. If you tune into spirit, just do some meditation. I'm just going to put these decks way over here so I'm not taking from them. Just do your own meditation and and see what kind of downloads you get, and then maybe do an oracle spread on the theme. Now, apologise for my background on my bags and things. So the first card, I hope we can focus on that, okay? It is loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in, okay? So I did, in my meditation last night, a little theme that's coming to my mind now, which is probably along in line with this, is that often when we are being asked to let something in, we need to create space for that. And so with my meditation, I really just focused on visualizing more space between my cells and also more space between my thoughts. And sometimes when we create more that feeling of more space, it kind of brings in that feeling of calm. And when you tap into calm and peace, this is when God can come in, okay? I'm a bit concerned about that light. Is that going to be better? No. So I really hope you can see that. So underneath, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So loosening your grip on things that you may have an inkling that you are overly attached to, and you probably know what those things are. And just working on some little strategies or maybe things that you can add into your life that are perhaps more that you can kind of substitute in for those things that you are overly attached to. So it might be about creating more variety in, in perhaps creating more variety in your diet. It might be about creating more variety in your activities, and perhaps putting in some creativity there. So these are all things that are going to help allow for God's source or your higher self to come in. This, the other thing is, it's not only about, if we see that word God there, that we can almost substitute also your higher self can come in, okay? Your true essence can come in. This is sort of depicting, I believe, that, okay, these people here have loosened their grip and so they're falling, but that image sort of, it's almost like that we have to keep in mind that it's not a negative fall, it's a a trusting fall. So we're falling into something that's deeper for ourselves, something that's calmer, and something that's more spiritual. So if you can imagine, a lot of confusion and addiction up here, we're letting go of it and we're falling down into something that's going to be more harmonious. So yeah, that's that one. Now we'll just quickly, the next one here from the Gateway of Light. I don't think I've had this card before. The Stellar Gateway Activation, Infinite Potential Manifestation Vortex. So there is a pyramid there, which is kind of cool. And Stellar Gateway. So this is really about us coming into our awareness of our star connections. Okay, our connections to galactic collectives, our higher aspect, okay, our multi-dimensional selves. It's about expanding our views of our own being, really, and bringing on board that idea that we are energy and that everything in the universe is energy, okay? We are energy beings as well. Infinite potential, okay? So this is about our unlimitedness, our potential that we may have only just, touched the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. But we're moving into a time where once we step through this gateway, we're going to experience more possibilities, okay, and manifestation of all of those possibilities as well. Manifestation vortex. Wow. And just as I'm speaking now, the Sisterhood of the Rose are coming through and saying that they are a collective, a consciousness of divine feminine, and they have been reawakened or are starting to reactivate, and they themselves are a manifestation vortex. So there are going to be lots of groups around on Earth that form together to lift the frequency, and they might all have different modes and different ways of doing that. Okay, so for me personally, I kind of feel that it's really going to be a matter of choice. We might be presented with all these different options in terms of New Earth groups, and we're really going to be able to just choose the one that vibes with us the most. Okay. For me, I guess I feel like I'm quite a gentle kind of person, so I'm feeling quite resonant with the Sisterhood of the Rose. But having said that, I'm not really going to be jumping on someone online who's charging money for me to go and be initiated, because I kind of think that it's up to you, this is my personal opinion, is that if we're initiated, if we are already within that consciousness, we don't really need to be paying someone else money for us to be able to connect to that, because we have a direct connection already. Okay. But having said that, if you feel you do need support to help with that connection for yourself, then that could be a good thing to do. Okay, but just it's just to keep that in mind, that it might be a period of time that you're going to be participating in something that's going to support you online, but then ultimately you might be starting your own group or your own way of doing that in your community, okay? Because we have to also remember that we are stepping into our own sovereignty, so just be a little wary of giving away your sovereignty to someone else, if I can say that. But this is where we're going to have to be just really discerning in how we show love and compassion and interact with one another, but still respecting another person's sovereignty and respecting our own as well. So it's going to be that we're going to really have to resist that tendency to become addicted or to rely overly or become overly attached to something that we feel is going to rescue us or save us, whereas in actual fact the answers are going to come from within us to build up our strength and resilience. But tapping into a collective that has a common goal in that area could be helpful. What do we have here? Scars. Wow. And that's, addiction can leave scars, okay? Addictions, traumas, and once you start doing energy clearing, you might notice that, just checking my microphone is in, you might notice some feelings or wounds, old wounds that come up for you. And it is about letting them go, but also about seeing the deep wisdom. I wrote something on this a couple of days ago. Let me just read this in my book here. Okay, it's about the realisation of the importance of both joy and sorrow. So as we know, scars can make us get into sorrow, grief, all that type of thing, or regret, or guilt, or anything like that. So realisation of the importance of both joy and sorrow in the getting of wisdom. So this is part of our gaining wisdom, is to go through those things, to experience those things. The soul is open to the full spectrum of experience, so keep that in mind. You are here to experience those things. So if you have been through a lot, then rejoice, because the extent of your experience and your wisdom is considerable. So it's almost like, not that you want to go out and create scars for yourself, but because we know that it's unpleasant to go through, but if you do have a lot of this stuff, know also that that's directly proportional to the amount of wisdom and resilience and strength that you have, okay, within you, that you then need to honour, love, appreciate, process, and then integrate that in your understanding of how you are going to move forward. I really love these cards. They are so awesome. And like I have said before, that other things may come up for you with these images, but you can see how these kind of are interconnected. Like we have addiction here and we have scars, but we have this remembrance of, once we step into that gateway, we're going to be able to release that, or that releasing these things will allow us to step into the gateway. Okay, right, and I also just want to point out the vibrational colours here. We have purple at the top. Here we have purple. Purple's a very transformational colour, okay? It's also a colour of royalty, I believe. So very high frequency colour. Because that violet flame is of that colour, violet flame of transformation. So we're just going to keep that in mind as well. So this is kind of this reading is kind of a conglomeration of meditation images and impressions that I've had from my Sisterhood of the Rose just in the last 24 hours. Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down time in nature. Okay, this is huge, particularly Sisterhood of the Rose teachings is all about, a lot of it is about coming in connection with nature, deeper connection, stronger connection, more appreciation, more time in nature. And this idea of mother, definitely a divine feminine, and also the earth frequencies here that we can really benefit from, really healing, and this idea about slowing down. And I think a couple of videos back I mentioned that, about slowing down as well. That image, message that came through on that. as well. Yeah, grounding, relaxing. And let's just go to the dragon one now. So this one is gratitude. Wow. See, we have another feminine image here, but there is like a brotherhood of the rose, apparently. So there are men and women that are participating in this movement or this earth connection or this consciousness. They may feel particularly resonant with it. But see how that's beautiful dragon? It's almost like higher self, but it's being grateful for these higher frequencies and grateful. I just realised here in this image too, we have mountains in the background, earth. This almost looks like flowers. There's actually a person here, I just realised. It's funny how you look at images long enough, then you see what you're supposed to see. So just reclining there. And this is almost like a white light sort of coming into the heart chakra. That's kind of interesting. Really beautiful image how that's been done. And here we have thoughts of gratitude. High frequency, opening the arms, power pose, opening the heart. That's very much a heart opening position. And especially if you're breathing, really sensing your connection to earth and heaven there, really centering and grounding as well. So that could be really beneficial. But we've gone from scars and addictions into beautiful tranquility and gratefulness here. So it's a reminder. And here we have again Gaia gateway activation. This is so balanced, isn't it? We've had the stellar gateway and now we have the Gaia. Heaven and earth, literally, in this reading. Learning experiences, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Learning experiences is, like we said before, going through difficulties, challenges, traumas, addictions, over-attachments, being really embedded and attached and enmeshed in the material, and then really trying to incorporate spiritual and, balancing that out. But this is earth pulsing. It is the snap, folks. We have earth and we have Gaia as earth. Okay, so this is really about being grateful for our beautiful planet that we've been given. And right now, there's a vibration coming through for me that the Sister of the Rose have such deep love for the earth, okay, the planet. Gaia itself is a consciousness. And if we can meditate and slow down, we can really sense that, okay, that beautiful love that's surrounding the earth. And it's so gorgeous. Wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Okay, wisdom, and there's a little pathway going here. Okay, so this is almost like off-world. It's like the higher frequencies. It's like we originally chose to step down onto Earth. This is why we are here, to help Earth through this shifting of frequency. And it can be confusing at times and challenging, but we've really just got to keep coming back to balance, keep coming back to the earth frequencies that are going to ground us, help us to be clear. They're going to help us to dispel the confusion. They're going to help us to be in line with ourselves. Okay, so we've done less cards today, but we've still had a long reading, so I apologise for that, but hopefully that's been of use to everyone. But, just quickly flick through these cards again, just so you get, and like I said, if something I've said doesn't resonate, please don't take it on. But these are all kind of about beautiful, being grateful for Gaia and the beautiful frequencies that are available to us. And we're moving on, from our scars and from our addictions, and we're letting go. And we're stepping into this gateway activation, which is really going to really elevate our appreciation for Gaia and where we are. okay, rather than making us feel like we don't want to be here and it's all going to rack and ruin. We really got to turn that around and say, you know what, this is a really beautiful planet and we're going to make the most of where we are. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for listening. I hope you're having a great day and thank you for being here. I shall see you next time. All the best in the meantime. Thank you.